Good morning. It is 7:15 and I just started walking. I've been up since 5:30. It's been a very slow morning. I had coffee and it was just leisurely. And then I made a couple rookie mistakes packing up. Like I put my quilt away and then realized my water filter was still in the foot box. So I had to get that back out, and then I pretty much had my pack packed and then realized I was still sitting on my sleep pad. So I had to redo that. So I'm definitely out of the groove, but all in all, it was a great night. I didn't sleep amazing. I feel like I looked at my clock about every hour, but I feel rested enough. And one thing I didn't say yesterday, so we had come up on that very small dispersed spot. We were able to fit two tents like really close together, but it was getting right at dark, and we come around the corner and there was a border patrol guy hiking south, and he jumped and I yelled a curse word. We startled each other. So we talked to him for a couple minutes, and he said there were some other people up here, and he said we were probably best, given the time, we were best off just to camp right there. So that's what we did. And no plans for today. There's supposed to be possibility of some water in some clear pools near the trail in about 6 miles. But there are a water cache with comments 2 days ago that there was more than 35 gallons. And that is another 15 from where we are. So I've got enough water to get there if need be. So I'm feeling good about water. Today should be much more leisurely as far as the hike. We won't have all that elevation. We did like 5,000 feet yesterday. Today, sorry, I'm puffing and huffing and puffing. So Stealth ran the route on Far Out, and said if we did 23 miles today, it was only 2,900 feet of gain. So hoping for a big day, but we'll just see how everything plays out and take it as it goes. You can't see now, but it's a little buck. Jen, our shuttle driver, yesterday told us about this blimp. It's some kind of border patrol surveillance, and it's just hovering right over there. Just stopped at mile 13 to take my mid layer off, and this is by far the best campsite I've seen on the trail so far. It's right at mile 13. You can probably fit 6 backpacking tents pretty comfortably. Well, I was just looking to look at the comments on where this water was, because there's water supposed to be within a mile somewhere. All of my Far Out comments are gone. And I only had 1 bar of service, and it wasn't enough to update comments. I've had that happen before in the PCT. But I need all the comments to figure out where the water is. I do know for sure there's water. There's 15 from where I started today. Because the comments were there earlier. So I don't really know what happened between now and then. So hopefully I either get some better service to update the comments or something. Because I don't have enough water to go 15. Like, I'm not going to die. I can make it, but not comfortably. There are some other places where there's like wells or things you may have to go off trail a little bit, and the water may not be great. So it's not catastrophic or anything, but definitely a big inconvenience. I don't know how far Stealth is behind. She was still packing up when I left. There were a couple other guys section hiking. They were still like eating breakfast with tents up that I passed a while back. But I mean, worst case scenario, I take a break up here and somebody catches up and ask what their comments show. But Anyway, just a minor nuisance in a wonderful morning. I did see another small deer, like a little fawn, but I couldn't get any good footage of it. So, anywho, I don't know. This has just been blissful. It is 10:15 a.m., so it's been 3 hours since I left camp. I still haven't been able to update my far out comments, but I did find the pools of water that I remember seeing comments about. And while I was there, Stealth showed up, and we had been kind of debating and talking about the water situation, because the far out for this trail is just not very robust. And with me not having any comments, like all the information about water is in comments. So we were just sitting there having a snack, and I did drink about 1 liter, and I'm carrying a couple liters. But the two guys that were section hiking, they're just doing the first like 52 miles. We told them there was water, and he said, "Oh, we'll get some up at the reservoir or the creek." And I said, "There's a stream up there?" And he said, "Yeah, it's by the reservoir." And Stealth said, "There's a reservoir up there?" And these guys stopped and turned around like we were crazy. And they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, we have no idea." And they said, "Oh yeah, it's a big lake. There's a marina with people boat on and all that. You can go down, it's like a half-mile walk downhill to the marina." I said, "Well, that adds a mile, another half-mile of climbing. And I don't really need to do that." But we talked for a few minutes, and we figured out there's a reliable stream 8.4 up, so be good to go there. I'm hoping, I don't know, I was thinking that would be lunch, but I may be ready for lunch before that. But there's no climbing really to speak of between now and then, and it is a little rocky going through this canyon, but it's starting to get warm. But for the most part, it's been lovely. Okay, we're at like, I don't know, mile 16, and this is the first Arizona Trail sign I've actually seen. But I wasn't expecting it to be brown and white. I thought they were going to be like what the normal colors of the logos look like. So either they are always brown and white, or that one's just sun bleached. Okay, I think that's the first of the AZT gates, but I think this is when we actually don't go through and we go this way. Another one of the famous AZT gates already. We're gonna go in close on this one so you can see how cool they are. The road in must have been much better than the road I just walked down. It really wasn't much of a road, it's like a creek bed. But there's a big camper back there. Here's a trail went that way. Look at that. That's a pretty neat sign. There's a big lake down there. There's apparently a marina down there. It's like, somebody told us it's a half-mile downhill and then half-mile back up. I'm not gonna go down there, but look at that view. It's lunchtime. Done 12.1 so far, only 1 mile from the water. But I saw a spot, a little bit of shade, and I thought, I'm hungry. I'm gonna sit down and take my shoes off and take a rest for a few minutes. There was 2 hikers that came by that I've never seen before yet. And then Stealth just caught up and went by. So I'll see her at the water. She said that she was going to the water and she was getting close to out. So just a mile to that, and then had to figure out from there what's next. I would like to get 20 today, but it's very doable. Just gotta, I don't know, see how the day plays out. It's starting to get pretty toasty though. It's hot. Okay, I've had 2 long breaks within 1 mile.
Yeah, when I saw you stop there, I was thinking, that's like questionable decision making.
Hey, it was working. So I'm going to show you this water source because it's probably the best water source we're going to see on the PCT. We're not even on the PCT. This is probably the best water source we're going to see on the AZT. So let's show you this, and then we're going to have to carry a bunch of water out of here because the water situation is not looking good for quite a few miles. Okay, I've been walking from that water source for a few minutes, but here is the plan. We got to camp almost dark last night. I didn't really want to do that again today. I wanted to be there a little earlier. I was also kind of wanting to get 20 in, but Stealth and I were looking at far out, and there were a couple other people there at that water source that were also kind of planning their afternoon, and the water carry's coming up. So we decided I think we're all going to go 5.9 miles from the water. I don't know what that gives everybody else. That gives her and I exactly 19 for the day, which that'll be fine for day 2. And there's just supposed to be a bunch of flat spots around a gate. So that's where we're headed. Got about 5.7 to get there at this point. And the next 3 miles or 3.5 miles are some climbing. Nothing like yesterday, just kind of some gentle elevation. But I have some Sour Patch Kids in my hip belt right now, so that'll get me up. The other thing, the last few hours, my throat's been starting to hurt a little bit. My nose is getting a little stuffy. But this happened to me also on the PCT once I was in the desert for a couple days. And a couple other people are having the same thing. And it happened to several others on the PCT. So I think it's just coming from humid climates here to this very arid climate. Just kind of does a number on your, I don't know, whatever it's doing a number on. But should be a okay afternoon. And I just ate not long ago, but man, I'm already starting to think about dinner. I made it to the top of this climb. And these climbs are harder than I anticipated, to be quite honest. There's actually a few good camp spots up here. But it's only 4:45, so I'm going to keep going. Still planning to do 2.2 more, but it's mostly all downhill. And hopefully it'll be there well before 6. Be able to get set up before the sun starts to set, hopefully. My throat is on fire. And it's just been some drainage. I don't feel bad. I just have this weird thing going with my throat. But I am ready to get to camp. And there are some good views in the distance, but they're just little bitty holes. I can see them through these smaller trees. There's nothing good enough that I can really get good footage of. But I don't know if we'll get any more today or not with going downhill now, but we'll see. I'm heading back south now. I came through the gate to see what was on the north side of the gate. There's one good big spot, but there's 2 guys already in it. There's several other spots actually. There are 2 back on the other side of the gate. And I was heading there, but I just saw this. Let me look over here. Yeah, that's not very good. Okay, the trail is right over there. There's a good spot here. There's another one here, and there's another one back in the bushes behind me a little bit. It was a rough day. It's about this last couple hours this afternoon. My throat just hurts. I'm exhausted. 19 may have been too much for the second day with this kind of terrain, but it is what it is. I'm ready to get set up and cleaned up and cook some food. Those other 2 guys were just up. The other 2 younger guys that were through hiking, I passed them a couple hours ago. They said they weren't going to come here. Stealth was planning to come here, but I don't know if she will or not because it's later than we were hoping to get here. So I don't know. We'll just see. I'll either be here by myself or she'll show up or other people will show up too. I don't know. All right, I'm going to close that a little bit early while there's still decent amount of daylight because we're about to lose it. The sun's already set. I have some water ready to go. I'm going to have some ramen and dehydrated vegetables tonight and then probably a Snickers bar. I'm feeling a little better since I've taken some vitamin I and been sitting down for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and eat dinner and then figure out the water situation tomorrow and look at far out a little bit. I don't know if I already said this or not. Stealth is here. Honestly, I don't know where she is. I have not gotten out of my tent since she's gotten here. She's maybe 100 feet somewhere just right there. And then I don't think I'll go up and have bourbon with the gentleman up there. I'm just ready to eat and do my YouTube work and go to sleep. So I'm going to tell you now, have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.